Hello. All right. It's Kate here. Hopefully you can hear me. Decided to do this real quick live stream. Kind of want to show y'all the results of the CDC. I got some wires to bend here, and um, we're going to go through them and see how the design center that designed these did. So, I'm got my coffee this morning. It's like 8 something this morning. I decided to just live stream this. Probably not going to have any viewers, but if you're there, say hi. But mainly, it's easier for me to just do a live stream than to record and edit and all that stuff. So hopefully this goes smoothly, and y'all can see how I do my mornings with the wire bender. So what we're going to do is I got two that have been designed. I have one that my son did. He already bent the wire for it, but it's the wrong design. So I have to talk to him about reading the prescription. It's supposed to be a 4-to-4 labial bow for this, not a 3-to-3. So we're gonna redo that one, and I gotta get that model downloaded. So we're gonna redo that one, and then we're going to bend it, and then we're gonna go through the design, the ones that already were designed, and see how much editing we need to do, and then bend those, and then we'll go back to the bench. We'll do little adjustments on all of them, see how much adjustments need to be done for this wire bending robot. So this is the DenckOrtho Bender S. You're seeing the back side of it until I can rearrange my office in here for it. So that being said, let's go and start with the ones that are already designed, and we will. And so I don't know if you can see, there's a little star here. So as my son is designing these and basing them and sending them to a 3D printer, he's also sending them to the design center to get the wires designed for us. Now, let me show y'all what that looks like. Let me show this, which one am I going to look at? Here we go. This is the my email, and these are the email reminders I get. That, like, this is 3:17 a.m. So they work at night while we're sleeping and get these done so that they're ready in the morning. This is 2:16 a.m. And so that's what we are. That's the benefit of this is they design these while we're sleeping. And if you'll notice, I'll do one. I'm going to be doing one by myself, designing it myself, and you might be able to see a good difference between getting it designed for you and then designing it yourself. Because sometimes you run into hiccups of collisions or something else is wrong. Because every mouth is different, and the AI on here is pretty good, but sometimes it throws it off and you got to make some major adjustments. You don't have to deal with that with the CDC, the Online Design Center. So let me share my screen here. Kind of got a janky setup here. Let's do this. So here's my screen. This is my patient list. I don't really use it as a patient list. If you know anything about OG-DOS that I've talked about, it's a Swiss Army knife of all these softwares. And it's mainly geared for orthodontists. As you can see, there's the Ceph measure, face measure, VTO. This is what we're going to be working on. But if I go and to these designed ones first, we're going to see it's 8:41 right now. Let's see how long it takes me to send this to the printer. So we do this by the case pan number and the patient's initials, and I'm going to double click on it. And you can see here's what the prescription picture we send them. And right here is what we've uploaded the design. And then this is the prescription. So it says design completed, and it has the military time of when it was done. These are the notes that my son put in. 44 labial bow, not upper continuous rest, lower continuous rest. He messed that up. Let's see what it turned out. This may be very interesting. So I'm just going to click on that and double click. It's going to open up OG-DOS and to see what's in there. I do have a question. I don't have a question. Okay. So it's downloading from the server. There's the teeth. Let's enlarge this so we can see it better. And then I'm going to click on Holly retainer bending up here. And is my key? Yeah. So down here, you'll see the keys that I press. And oh, good. They did the thing on the lower. Let's start with the lower since that brought it up. Now, they do this for me because that's how I design it. But this is actually looks really good. I'm going to press P just to see the actual bend points. You can see little green dots on here. Let's do edit. And that actually, so that's the cool thing is they solve all the collision problems. So I kind of just want to, let's bend this. Oh, well, let's look at all the wires on here. Okay. Okay, they did good. They lined it up there. I did ask them to leave this straight. Now, how do I do that is, how do you tell them your preferences? Is you go through here, especially on your first few ones you do, is you'll go here. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to press the letter P to get to the fine points. Like if you want this more, let's say tucked in or something, you could do like that. If I wanted this pointed forward, I can point it forward, and then you just go back up and save up here in the upper left corner. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then they look at the previous design and then the changes you made, and then they make notes and remember your design. So this does look good. Let's see if we can bend this. I think I got my bender turned on. Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh, and I think I have. Oh, it needs me to load the wire. So 350 is the length. So we're using JBC wire. Let's see if I can switch over. It's going to, so I had 135 millimeters left, and this was doing, oh, come on. There we go. It unclamps it so I can grab it. And so I'm going to put the new wire in. This is the full length JBC wire, which is 350 millimeters. I'm going to load that in. And then we'll go back to here. Confirm the completion, confirm and continue. Yeah. See if I can zoom in on it. That blue light is not, it does not look like that in real life. It's not that blue. There we go. So, oh, it did good for a second. There we go. All right. That's more what it looks like. But what I did is, if I go here, then wire cutting complete. Okay. So I'm just going to hit edit again. Just make sure nothing changed. I'm going to click start bending again, continue bending. And let's go back to here. So it just starts on one end and goes to the other. It looks like it's starting on that left side. So that was actually pretty nice, just to be able to not have to make any changes. Now I can go back and forth. Can I do this? Yeah. So I can go back. I don't like that. Let's do this. So while that's bending, if you'll look over here, you can actually go to the next one and you can work on your next one. So it's nice. You do have this thing in the middle, I guess, to make sure you know that, hey, it's bending. Now, if I hit edit, it should not have any collisions or anything like that. They don't think they send it to you with any issues. Now, it did stop bending for a second. So I try not to press edit because it it stops the bending process while it's doing it. I do want to fix this little flare out right here, if you can see that. Okay, so bending is complete. And where did that go? Oh, it shot back there in the back. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Where did it go? There we go. There it is. Now, this is a newer design, AI design. It actually, it's using JBC wire, so it needs a little more uh, collaboration. What am I trying to say? Not collaboration. It needs a little more. The name will come where you work on it to get it to fit better. But let's work on that lower. Let's go back to here. Okay, so now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, it looks a little high on this side. So I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to pull it. Nope. I'm going to pull it down. Oh, I was pulling on the dot. Sometimes you grab the dot on the other side. Let's. I'm going to do Control Z. Let's just redo that whole thing. All right. So let's grab the right dot, pull it down, and so that made that too short. So you got to actually make the thing longer. Yeah, there we go. And like I said, I wanted to fix this little flare here. I'm going to grab one of these dots. I'm going to pull it down just a bit. There we go. And then I'm going to take that. I'm going to hit Q, and it's going to pull it away from the model. That one's hitting the model pretty good, so I'm going to hit Q. This will have labial acrylic, so I'm not worried about it touching all the teeth perfectly. So that, and I like to leave that long because sometimes when you have it bend forward like that, you get a lot of collision because this side will start hitting the bending arm. So I'm gonna hit edit, see if my edits changed anything major on there. Hopefully it didn't. And then start bending. So it's going back to the, I guess it goes all the way back to the full length of the wire that it's going to take to bend this. And we're going to see how many wires we can get out of this. I don't think we'll be able to get another labial bow because that lower lingual rest is, lower lingual rest takes a good amount of wire. So we're doing the first loop there. So as that's going, I'm going to work on this. I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. I'm going to go and click up here and do the upper. And okay, so they had to move. You can see they had to move this wire out of the way. So these mouths, they're all different, right? Some are real close, real narrow arches. And so you can do one way, but you can't do the other way. So you do have to make these final adjustments on here, but everything actually looks pretty good on here. I'm not going to hit edit until this is done bending, but man, that's it for that. All right, so it's about to cut off the excess. Sorry, the excess. There it goes. Bending is complete. So if I pull this up, there is the wire. And let's see if I do this. So here it is. It just sit right It just did really good. Well, don't lose it, Cade. Jeez. So even though you're using a wire bending robot, you can still drop wires and lose them, and they go into the dimension that it never comes back from. So let's do this. Yeah, I'm doing. So I'm gonna hit edit. I don't know if I made any changes. This is fine because I like to keep one straight. Because if I do a 90 in here and it's going forward, and I like them both to go back or whatever, I have to unbend that 90 and rebend it, and it tends to break if you do two 90s in one spot. So I actually want this to be. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to press the letter P, and I'm going to actually pull this down a bit. I'm going to shorten that just a bit. I'm going to hit edit, see if that changed anything. Nope. It's still thinking. Still thinking. Calculating. Okay, good. So you'd get an orange colored wire in the section that it did a collision. So I'm going to just start bending. Let's see. It's probably going to make me change out the wire. Yep. All right. So we're going to go 350. Enter. Yes, I'm sure it is that. So let's change out this wire. And this is actually a pretty quick process. I take the shorter wire piece out like so. Let me grab my camera here. I'll show y'all. And then I have this little container I got from JBC. It's actually to hold pliers. But I put all my short pieces in here, and then I'll end up taking those to my wire bending desk, and I use them to make clasp and stuff out of. So then I take, this is the full size wire over here. You can't see the whole thing. And so what I'm going to do is I grab that. I'm going to put it in here. I tend to just front feed. You can back feed this too in the back. You just got to let it know. There we go. So I go back. Confirm completion of bending and confirm completion. Continue feeding. So then it goes to, it's going to cut off a little piece just to make sure that the alignment is there. There we go. So if you go back to the software, it's going to tell me wire cutting completed, and you'll see it's now 349.5, so it knows how long it is. I'm going to hit edit again just to make sure, and then start bending and continue bending. Got my coffee this morning. This is bending wire faster than I can bend it by hand, that's for sure. Well, and then we'll see at the end how long this takes me to do the final touches on it. It's good to have a experienced wire bender. This is why I like this machine for smaller labs that, the main guy or gal is the main wire bender. And this just does 80 to 90% of the bending for you. And the biggest part of that was it moves that 80 or 90% to the computer. So it's more digitally done. I guess that looks right. Looks really wide for some reason. Okay, doing the last. It definitely does that patient left side first. Oh, that was a weird bend. I tell you, these, don't get me wrong, these machines are not 100% perfect. You do run into some problems. Same thing with like 3D printers. They make a great model, but yeah, look, it got off a little bit somewhere. So I wonder if that's really off. We'll find out. Yeah, it's just I got a little bit off. Let me change my cameras here. So you can see, I mean, this is a real world example. I need to do some calibration. This is kind of a longer span of wire, so it missed a bend somewhere. But this is still good. I can still use it. Still save me 80%. It's 80% there instead of 90% there. So let's move to the next one. I'm going to close this over here. We're ready to move on. And then we're going to return. And this next one is just a lower Holly. That is just a lower model. So let's see. It's this next one. Okay. So then we can just go right to it. I'm going to click that. We're going to double click this. Sometimes those comments like done designing is already is in Chinese instead of the other. So this is instead of English. So that looks right. Okay. So let's go full screen here. Let's go full screen here. And let's go straight to Holly retainer bending. There we go. This one is a difficult one to do because it's on the inside. For some reason, that just makes it more difficult. But I'm pretty happy with that. It's off of this Tori. Looks like. Okay, so I'm going to click edit just to make sure. And let's just send this straight to the printer. Wires to be bent. And then let's start bending. I should have plenty in there for this one. We might have to do one more stick for the labial bow part. Okay, so that has started. Let's go with this other screen here. And while that's bending, I'm going to be working on the other one. So if I go up here where this tooth is, click on that, it's going to show all the wires. And they actually got it going forward here, backwards here, which is fine. I can deal with that. It looks a little high on this side again. I'm going to double click it to bring it forward or activate it. I'm going to press the letter P, and then I'm just going to pull. Nope, I grabbed the inside again. Boy, those dots get right in the. I'm going to pull this down. Yeah. So then I'm pull that longer. I'm going to keep that little flare out because I'm worried about the gums there. We are touching here. So I'm going to click here and press Q. I'm going to click here and press Q and Q. And so that red mark is where it's actually hitting the, so this is done. All right, so it is done there. And I'll show y'all, I got my wire bending bench I got it set up. So we're gonna show off these wires when we get there. Okay. Just double checking that I like everything. This could go down a little bit more. Yeah, looks good. It is hitting here a bit. I don't know if I can change that or not. If I hit Q, yeah, it went away. This, that one I'm going to press W. It's going to, yeah, it's going to do this, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, no, I got it. All right. So let's hit edit to see if those changes I made any difference. No. I wonder if that's touching. And also, I've noticed you've got to press edit to bend the most recent version of the wire you just did. So if I wasn't talking my way through this, you could see how much faster this will be. All right, and then let's start bending. Oh yeah, I knew I needed more wire. So 350, yes. Pull out that little piece, put the full length in. These 4x4, 4-4 labial bows, they do take a lot of wire. Just like a wraparound will take a full wire when you're bending by hand. So your waste that you get from this is pretty much the same as wire bending. You might be able to squeeze out a little bit more if you're wire bending by hand. If you're, that's cutting off. If y'all are interested in, let's see, let's go back. I'm going to go back to the software. Wire bending completed. Yes, I'm going to hit edit again. I always do, just in case. And then start bending and continue bending. Now, if you guys and gals are interested in learning how to wire bend by hand, which actually helps when you're bending this. Let's see if I have it. Yeah. This is a QR code. It's called Retainer Designer Academy. And I have a wire bending 101 course there, and you can learn how to bend wires. I teach you about what pliers to use, what wire to use, why we use stainless steel wire, all that stuff. And that way you can actually learn to bend start to finish, and I just take you all the way to labial bow. And there's some clasp in there also, and I'm going to add some more. So it's going to be a continuous thing. And there's monthly online coaching. So I'm doing my first online coaching for this course at the end of January. So if you sign up before the last week of January, you can jump on that online coaching call with me, and I'll help coach you through wire bending. So that's my spiel. If you're interested, it's Retainer Designer Academy. So when I pop up these QR codes, you can actually see. You could take a screenshot with your phone, and of course this is being recorded, so you can go back and take a screenshot later if you want. Okay, we got the labial bow bent. Oh yeah, it does a really good job. Okay, that one's bent. So that was, let's see, what did I say? 841 was when I started this. So I did 3 labial bows, 2 continuous rest, and in 15 minutes or so. So now we're going to go and we're going to close this. We're going to show what doing it by hand is. And what I have said before is if these wire bending machines work great if you have a digital designer. And that's why I was showing 306. I don't think, yeah. Give me a second. Yeah, MU. So this, he did a 3-3 labial bow before on this patient. So if we look here, or maybe I'd already told him to do 4-4. Let's see. I don't like doing 4-4s, but this is what the doctor wants on these mixed dentition cases. Yes, import. Yeah, it's 3-3. So let's go and make a whole new one. So I'm going to go to my computer over here, and I am going to download this upper scan. Shell occlusion. Oh, it's interesting. They didn't, EasyRx didn't do its, oh, I did that wrong. Let's do this again. So I have a shared network folder that I put these in. And so I'm going to say new patient, and we've already done that one patient. So let's do MU 306. Why did I say 311 306? And then confirm. Then gender and the doctor and all that doesn't matter for us. All right, so we're going to go straight to here. It's going to automatically open the folder to find the models. I put the model here, and I have to drag it over. So that's my network folder, because these computers aren't connected together except for the internet. I'm going to click on that and then open. So it is now 9:08. So, oh, what did I just do? Open. Yes. Oh, just one file. I was clicking on things and not even reading it. All right, let's go full screen on both these. Full screen. So it wants you to find the midline. This is going to be the AI trying to find the teeth. So this tells you, hey, here's the occlusal plane, here's the upper, and then the midline here, and you can start finding the teeth from those coordinates. And the AI does a pretty decent job doing this. I've been impressed with how well that it finds what's teeth and what's gums, and it numbers them. So it looks like it missed this upper right too. I'm going to double click it. Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to redraw this. Not going to be perfect, but it'll get us there. And you mainly just want to concentrate on the teeth that the wires are going to be in contact with. But some of us are a little anal retentive, and we'd like it to be perfect. So I'm just drawing where the actual gum line is. I'm double clicking. So if I was doing Adam's class, you want to make sure that your 6s are good. These are obviously baby teeth. The 3, the 4, and the 5. It's actually C, D, and E. But for what we need, that's all we. That'll work for us. So it takes you to this section, and it's where you can reset teeth if you need to reset teeth before you bend the wire around it. You can also base your models in here. I do have a video on that, and we haven't got to that yet. So this is going to be 4-to-4 labial bow. If I do AI, it's going to automatically do 3-to-3. But I do have a setting in here. So if I right click, do the tooth position. If I do here, and I saved one, so it's 4-to-4 labial bow. Now the numbering system on this is different. It's the federal numbering system. So this is the second quadrant. So there's 1, 2, 3. So I want it to go between 24 and 25. So that's right there. And I want it to go between 14 and 15, which is right there. And then I don't need the C class, all that. I'm not going to worry about that. So once you have it pulled up, you can close out of that. Then you can go in here, click the labial bow, automatically generate. And there we go. Now this, you can see how weird this is. Like I said, I don't like doing these on mixed dentition, but that's what the doctor asked for. So I'm going to pull that closer into the gums. This, I'm going to hit Q multiple times to pull it out of the gums. And we're going to make this a little taller. It looks like it's leaning forward a bit. Let me slide this distally. You can see all these red marks mean that they're locked together. So if I hit the shift button, I can actually rotate that a bit. Let's make it taller. We'll move this point down. Let's do, if I hit the letter T, it automatically does its best to try and find the length. So those purple marks are the distance between the bend head and the bending arm on the machine. So I'm gonna, that's going in. That's not what I wanted. Let's do this again. Again, this makes it difficult. Yeah, that's going in. I don't know why. Let's see. I think that's going in again. Might just be one of those where I have to, let's shift this. Shift click. Stretch this up. This can go here. Let's do Q, 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 Q. Okay. And is that flared out also? Yeah. Get that closer to the gum. So this is, you can see all the work you sometimes have to go through to get this to fit those difficult cases. Let's shorten this. This looks weird. Yeah, there we go. Shorten it to the bare minimum. And then, okay, I do need to raise it up. There we go. This did a weird thing. Let's move that back in. I don't know why it's not letting me raise it up. Maybe I have to raise this up. It's just on a weird curve. Like, so I can, if I was scroll wheel, I can collect all these bend points together and move them together. But it doesn't allow me. I'm pulling up on it, but it's not allowing me. So there's something in here that it is not liking it. But what I was saying before, you don't have to deal with all this when you do the design center, which is nice. This is short here. All right, let's leave this. I'll just have to adjust at the bench. So I do like these pointing backwards, but I don't like them pointing opposite directions. So I'm going to unbend that, and I'll just bend this at the bench going the other way. Sometimes I can get away with it. Let's see. Let's see if I can get away with it. You can see the RPE impression on there. So I'm going to hit edit to see how bad it is. Yeah, see that. So the orange means there is a collision there. So let's actually, I do need to pull this down some. It's a little crazily. And it's just something that come on. So we're gonna hit edit again. So I think it's this side is colliding with the other. I'm just gonna straighten this. Edit. Yep, and so that worked. Now, what I can do, wire to be bent, I can mock this. No. Simulation, sorry. And then mock. And it actually shows the bend of everything. So you can see right about here is where it would have collided. Right about here. If my right angle bend was going the other way. So we're going to exit simulation. We're going to hit edit again just to make sure. And again, this is, I can bend this at the bench and make sure everything looks good. Again, I don't like it. I need it to be raised up, but I can do that at the bench. So let's just start bending. Do I have enough room? I have 250 millimeters. Will it go? Can I get 2 labial bows out of 1 stick? like I said, these 4-to-4 labial bows are hard to. Oh, it started. Okay. So, yay, that worked. All right. So we got comments. Oh, good morning, Vlad. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. Is this the little one or the big boy? This is the little one. This is the Bender S. The Bender Max is the one big boy behind it, and it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got the coil right there of wire that feeds into the big boy. This uses straight wire, the same wire I bend at the bench, straight 14-inch pieces of wire, which is nice, and I can go in between 3 sizes. That big boy, I'm stuck with one size. So if I want to do my Adams clasp in 028, I can just pull the wire out, tell the software, hey, switch over to 028, and then it'll design the wires and bend them in 028. Now it does, I don't know what the 025 or something, and I haven't messed with that yet. That's kind of a small. So yeah, this is the Bender S. Let's go back to here so y'all can see it bending while I answer. Alexander Petrovich, dear, I'm trying to communicate with you. If you can send me a message later. Oh, you could email me. It's the same as my channel name, retainerdesigner@gmail.com. So retainerdesigner@gmail.com. You can email me there. Mark, hello, Chip, my acrylic retainer. Does that get to be repaired, or is already a request for a new one? Does that get to be repaired, or it really depends. If you cracked the acrylic on, sometimes you do need a full new one, depending how bad the crack is. Sometimes, depending on how well you've been wearing your retainer, they can take a new impression, and then they can just fix the acrylic chip. A lab can, because new acrylic can stick to old acrylic. You just got to prep it the right way, and you can fix a chip or something like that. But sometimes if it's cracked or whatever, they just start over. We can reuse the wires, which is good. We can strip off the old. I do have a video of that. You have to scroll through. It's been a while, but where I stripped the acrylic off the wires and reused the wires. But yeah, good questions. All right, so there's get this. So that took a while. That was 9:08, and now it's 9:19. So there we go. All right, so it is flared out like something happened during the bend. So these 4-to-4 are challenging. I gotta work on but let's take it in and let's work on it. All right, we're gonna transfer over to the other area. I'm gonna take my case pans of my finished RPEs. You cannot see me. And we're gonna go and do the final adjustments at the bench. All right. Okay, we are back here, and there we go. All right, new camera. Let's see if I can go. No, that's not right. There we go. All right, so we're going to do this lower one. Don't know why it's so dark. Let's brighten this up a bit. It doesn't help that the models are gray. So this is the 4-to-4. And it actually looks pretty good. Let's grab that continuous rest. Now this is the one that's new. It's a new template, and so it does need some calibration. That's the C word, not C word. That's the word I was thinking of. Calibration. So what I just and it really needs calibration here. And there we go. So I'm going to temporarily, let me click these off. I like them being long there, so it gives me something grippy. I need to bend that down a little bit. I don't know what I did with my pliers. Thought I brought them here. Oh, there they are, way over there. So I'm just going to temper. I don't have these models prepped yet. Ideally, I would sit here and I'd prep the models, and then I would do the final adjustments on here. So you can see it's really close. This is a really good one. What did I just do with those? There we go. I'm going to move this forward just a bit. So I'm just going to temporarily tack this down. Oh, I touched it wrong. Man, it's nice when a good plan comes together. All right, so I'm going to put that back. That was one. Let's do the other lower one. I like using my little again, there's just right there at the anterior of the lower is where it needs to be adjusted, but it's all bent the right length and distance. Yeah, there we go. Let's cut that. Cut that. And this is the order I usually bend at, is the lower continuous rest. I assume y'all do it. When I bend upper, usually I bend the labial bow first. That needs to go forward a bit. Let's push that down. There we go. Oh, this does need a little bit of, you can see it's a little further away from this wall than this wall. Where's my lower? And I think I waxed that too high. Yeah, there we go. So that side looks good. This one I gotta just tighten up a bit. So these machines, like I said, they're not like, don't ever expect it to just be perfect. Just know on average it saves you time. You will run into some problems, and I suspect that last one that I bent is going to be a big problem. Now, if I were to send it to the design center, maybe they did a better job than me designing it. Now, I don't have prices on the design center yet. I know it's still in beta, and so I'm getting to test out the beta version of it. But there, so you can see where I took this and it was straight, and I just bent it forward. The other one it was bending in opposite directions. I've gotten to where I used to be real particular about the way my wires look. I'm still like that. And I want it to keep bending them the same way that I bend them by hand, by putting little loops on the end. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I like to put little loops on the end. On the upper. On the lower, I do this. So it works out. So I'll probably, before I wax it, I'll probably adjust a little bit. But I think I like it. So that's the lower. So you can see, you get on a roll, you just fly through these, doing final adjustments. Okay, so that one, the upper 4 to 4 needs some work. You see how it's flared out like that? If I remember right, it was not, it was slipping. I think it slips sometimes. And of course, every wire manufacturer is different. And sometimes the wires are a little different because the machine will do the same movements every single time. Where our hands, we can feel, hey, the wire feels a little weak right here, or it's stiffer, and we have to. Oh, that was too much. It's stiffer, and we got to press a little harder to get it to bend. Am I hitting there? Sorry, not talking much. I'm working my way through this. Actually, probably the smallness of this mouth, I probably needed to bend these forward, but that'll work. So this takes just a little clasp right here, like a ball clasp without the ball. We call it a finger clasp. And I just use the extra piece of wire that from the wire bending machine, a little scrap of wire like this, and I just bend it real quick. But I just wanted to show y'all. Those don't take long. Y'all know if y'all bent wires before. I'm just going to tack this down on one side. I'm making my job harder. Again, I would definitely have these models prepped already, and so that once I wax it down, it's ready for acrylic. So that's 3 of these. This I'm a little worried about. The 3 to 3 labial bow turned out pretty good, but they've asked for 4 to 4. So I'm gonna, something happened. I think something slipped. Like these are too big. And I probably, in the design, I probably should have shrunk. You can choose different widths of these, different widths of the adjustment loop. I think my default is probably the biggest one. But it might have been whenever I rotated this. You can't see that. When I rotated this way, it may have caused some slippage or something. And I've been through a lot of training on calibration and stuff. I'm real excited about what Dr. Neal's bringing for the calibration. So you would like choose a standard part in the software, and then you would close that down more. And then for like it'll do the right loop, do the left loop, and calibrate it. And that Bender S, it comes with, I think probably the Bender Max also now, it comes with a camera, and so it can actually measure the angles in real time as it bends and do its own calibration. So that's coming soon, and I'm excited to see that. And stay tuned. I do have an announcement. We are doing online training with the machine in Florida. So if you're in Florida or the area, check flights. Or if you're not in Florida, check flights. If you're in Florida, drive. I think we got 2 or 3 spots left. We only have room for 16. But we're going to have some people from NeoLab and Great Lakes and some other things. So I'm going to stick that right there. I'm going to do some final adjustments. But you see it didn't take too long. No, I can't see that. I need to wax out this model first. So that's it. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 labial bows and 2 arches. And so that's it. That's me showing you what it's like to get it designed for you with the CDC, a cloud design center, and how many edits it takes to get it to bend. That actually went pretty quick. And then designing one myself and going through, there's collisions, there's stuff like that. Again, I've always said this isn't really, it shortens the wire bender technician's time once they get it from the machine, but it puts it onto the shoulders of your digital designer. But if you don't have a digital designer, you have the CDC. Again, I don't have the process for that. But oh, Vlad, gotcha. I looked into it and tempted to invest into it, but I don't do as much wire bending as I used to. I'm doing good making a few flippers right now and then wax it for wax partial. Yeah, it's going to depend. Don't make the investment if it doesn't make sense. You'll regret it. But if you are interested in this machine, it is, you scan that form. There's also a link down below if you don't know how to do QR code. But if you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to a form where you put in your contact info, and then DenckOrtho will contact you and find out your needs and answer any questions you have about it. The Bender S, the one I was bending on, is a $21,000 piece of machinery, which is probably the cheapest one out there right now that I know of. The other big players, there's one actually in Florida, AOS, I believe they're at 65. There's Pensa Labs, and I believe they're at 65. And then there's Profeta or something, and I don't know what the prices are. But there's the competition's getting pretty good. But they're able to keep their prices down because Dr. Neil, he's an orthodontist in Shanghai, and he's co-founder of this, and he's doing all this research for free. So he doesn't get paid for it, so they don't have to pay him, and they don't do advertisements or websites or anything like that. It's just a one-on-one contact. And I'll be doing all the training on this. So that brings me to the next thing. There is a Bender S training. This is a different QR code. It is, you can register. Do I have it here? You can register here. It's next week. It's the 16th and 17th, and it's at Inman Orthodontic Lab in Florida, near Coral Springs, I believe. So I'll be flying out Thursday, and I'll be there training along with Dr. Neil and some of his technicians, and then Jesse Inman, who, so me and Jesse are the only ones right now that I know of that have the Bender S here in the States. So we're doing this hands-on training, and we'll show you, Dr. Neil's going to, and Jesse and I will show you how we use it in the lab, how it helps us, how to calibrate it, how the machine works on the inside. So you really get a good feel for the machine. And of course, if you attend, I think you get like $500 off your purchase. So it's less than $21,000. But I don't know if it might be too late for some of y'all to attend. But if you do attend, I'd be happy to see y'all there. Like I said, there are some big labs that are sending their technicians to come look at this. Neo Lab is sending their technicians who have actually worked with other wire benders, and so we'll get some info from them too. We'll learn a lot from them. So, with that being said, I will end it there. And hide. Okay. Again, that's the QR code to register, or you can type in that link down below to register. Let me pull this off so it doesn't look so weird. And very important, I need to get my coffee cup because I got to do my usual sign off. Well, I guess I could do it in here. Oh, hello. Hi. All right. I'm going to end it there. But I just wanted to have this because this is all about bending. So happy bending. If you're interested, I think I'm selling these down below. You should be able to see something pop up. But if you want your own happy bending coffee mug, click below. Until then, I'm going to end it there. Thanks for hanging out with me while I record this. And leave any questions you have down below. I'll answer them. If I don't have the answer, I'll ask Dr. Neal or Jesse Inman. And I'll have answers for you for the wire bending or how it's going. But I just wanted to give you all a realistic look of what it looks like bending with the machine and doing the adjustments at the end, and actually how quick it can go. So that being said, I'll see y'all later, and